Sleep. Sleep. Sleep.
have 5 seconds left. You have 10 seconds left. You have 5 seconds left. Radiant team ban. You have 10 seconds left.
All right, ladies,
You have 5 seconds
welcome
left.
back. We are here. Third BO2 of the night. It will be between Boom Esports and TNC Predator, or a repeat of the grand finals for ESL 1 Thailand. John, we're back. This is the series I'm probably most excited about today. And I dare say the next series I'm probably almost equally as excited about, because there's two up and coming teams. But for now, Boom Esports versus TNC Predator. John, this is a big one. In the grand finals of ESL 1 Thailand, ended up in a 3-2, TNC coming out on top. Boom Esports, they were very, very close. I'd say these two teams are very, very even. How are you feeling about this one?
I'm really excited to see what comes out here, because Boom and TNC, not only did they play 5 games in that grand finals, in ESL 1 Thailand, they played against each other for a total of 9 games. So 3 separate series, 2 best of 2s, 1 best of 5. Unfortunately for Boom, at least if you look at ESL 1 Thailand, TNC has, not just in that grand finals, of course, but in those group stage games, they went 0-2 twice over. So TNC knows Boom's number, but Boom, they've shown us they can bring a fight. We'll see what they come out here. Boom is a fantastic team. You know, we've seen them perform when it matters. Hopefully enough, they bring that fight to TNC. And you have to remember, this is the classic Indonesian versus Filipino matchup as well. So it's always fun to watch.
Always. Already the draft has begun. Phoenix and Void for Boom Esports. A great opening. TNC Predator into the Venomancer Mirana. And I also like that opening quite a lot. I was singing Tim's praises over at our previous tournament, John. This man on the Mirana, he doesn't miss, right? When he throws an arrow out, whether it's rain, hail, or sunshine, he's going to hit that arrow every single time. And with that Venomancer, obviously a great flex pick. KP can take it, March can take it. It doesn't really matter. I love the start from both teams.
Yeah, it's a solid startup for both. I would say favor Boom's start a bit more personally. Phoenix and Void is just so straightforward. Egg with Chrono is nice. The issue is you have to land those spells. You have to use those spells every time they're up. Your Phoenix, whether it's support or core, has to hit 6s at a good timing. And we've seen teams kind of struggle with that, especially when you've got these 2 long cooldown spells as your bread and butter. Can be tricky. So Boom has a lot of work to put in. We know how Boom plays, though. They play by the clock with these spells really well. We're going to have to pull that off. Here, TNC, you talked about the Tim's Piranha. It's amazing. The Venomancer has been a stable pick for the past few patches now. No surprises. Going straight forward, maybe looking for something to hammer in the arrow combo, but it usually doesn't need one. So there's not as much pressure. I do give a little bit more of a pass for TNC on that. Seen it so many times.
Okay. By the way, John, while we're waiting for the next bands, can we have a talk about your shirt, sir? Now, I clearly instructed you before we started casting that you were required to wear a flowery shirt. What are you wearing? What is that?
It is flowery. I mean, it's not flowery. It's planty. It's planty. You see, there's like a leaf.
What plant is that?
I don't know. You know what's the funny thing about the shirt, Mike? It's actually misprinted. The colors on the other side. So I bought this off a surplus shop. You can see why it was there, because the print's wrong. But it's as close as I get. I don't have easy access to high quality shirts like you might. I can't even go out to shop. I can't find one. I'm sorry. This is it.
You mean to tell me you didn't have like at least 20 flowery shirts just in the closet like I do?
No, I'm not a forward thinker, Mike. I don't think ahead. I have all black, so I'm ready for any funerals that come up. I'm set for that. But I'm not set for anything festive, Mike, unfortunately.
I apologize to the viewers for John's behavior and his fashion choices today. I do apologize about that. I mean, on the brighter side, John, you usually come in with a blank T-shirt, so it's an upgrade. You've got a collar on today. It's very good.
Yeah, it's a step up. I mean, I've been going collared for a while, but you know, it's all been dark. It's a bit lighter here still. Boom, building up in their draft. Look at that. Elder Titan coming out with the Faceless Void. Combinations here are looking great. The issue is you're tying it a lot again onto Chrono. You're piling on the synergy with that one big spell. It's a hit and a miss. It's a double-edged sword. If you don't land a spell, then it falls apart. If you chain it well, it acts like magic. So TNC, they've got to be aware of that. I'd say it's an easy time to maybe go for something like Avenge. It was banned out, but something that stops that void from being effective. If they want the Oracle, the Disarm's great. Batrider is something we've seen, but they banned that out. So there are still ways to disrupt that. Oracle is one. Maybe a Shaker would work as well. They go with the Doom, which is
That
another
works.
way. Just Doom the Void, and the laning phase is going to be a bit tricky now for that Void.
I mean, I do agree that the Oracle could be very, very potent here up against that Faceless Void. The only problem being then you're going to have Doom mid lane, Venomancer off lane, which
10 seconds left.
isn't too weird, but it just doesn't sound
You have 5 seconds left.
very nice
Oh,
anymore for TNC. I would dare say so. Leave it at that. I'm pretty sure March is going to be on the POS 5 Venomancer this game. Pretty sure. I think KP will probably be the one to take the Doom, the off lane. Boom Esports now. Their fourth pickup.
Oh,
Okay, Centaur Warner comes out. Don't mind seeing it. They have a very kind of fight-orientated lineup. A lot of big ultimates here. Stampede obviously going to help you break the gap, especially up against that Venomancer. So if there's one thing I hate playing against, John, is this damn Venomancer that places Plague Wards everywhere. And with that Poison Sting slow, you just can't go anywhere. You move like a snail. But at least with the Stampede, you're not going to have that problem if a team fight's breaking out.
definitely. It's one way to sort that issue out with the Veno. You mentioned it, but it also adds into the team fight, to the control, the stomp, into the hoop stomp from the ET and the Centaur. Really nice combination. Boom is looking to play really fast. TNC, you mentioned it with the Veno and Doom. It's not the strangest. In fact, it's rather common nowadays to do together. I still am kind of iffy on two of them at the same time. I'm not the biggest fan of it together, but you can make it work. Like, the logic behind it is solid. So play around that. I'm more interested to see what the March here is going to be. So again, that Oracle is still in the pool if they wanted to do it in that way, but I'm not quite sure if it gels enough with the Doom Veno. They might be looking at something else.
Go for the Sven. So Gabby going to be on that Sven, and we have seen plenty of Sven being played by Gabby as of late, and he does do a great job on it. Obviously, once you get the Aghanim Scepter, it becomes I mean, it's broken, right? There's no other word for it. Aghanim Scepter Sven is broken. It was broken when they released it as well. Just nobody realized up until this point that it's completely bonkers. It makes no sense. And giving that Dispel as a talent for the Stormhammer, I mean, how does he even stun you and dispel you when you're Yuled up? I just don't understand that. It makes no sense to me, sir.
I know. Ven's just one of those heroes, right? It just defies logic. Like, he is a guy that literally gets too angry to die. You know, he
True.
pops his rat and he's just suddenly all red and you don't want to fight him. But I love this pick. Like, this is something that you see into the Faceless Void as well, because now you've got an issue. You jump in for the Chrono, there's enough reaction for the Sven to pop his Warcry, so he does get a bit more armor, makes it a bit harder to kill you off. if he's not caught in the chrono, he can throw the hammer out if you don't have BKB. So that's a consideration now for the Faces Void to have to buy. And it actually works really well with an Oracle if it slides through here. TNC is not locked in the March here unless they're going to do something funky. Where they're doing Veno, which is possible. I don't see it though, but possible. I would still like here if they do slide through. Really fast in the bans from TNC. Like Boom's the one thinking a bit more about what to take out.
I think they're going to focus down on just the Armel heroes now. Because I do truly believe that March will just take the Pos 5 Veno here. I'm pretty sure they're going to just run the offlane Doom. So Armel is probably the one lacking that mid lane hero right now. We're going to find out very soon. They do ban out the Void Spirit for Boom Esports now. Of course, TNC Predator focusing on the Quap and Lina. Which makes you wonder what they're looking to pick up here in this mid lane. Getting and Quap out of the pool. Are they looking for something cheesy?
I think it's more of they're taking out combos with the Chrono. You don't have a Sonic Wave, you don't have a Laguna, you don't have Dragon Slave going through for damage. Boom taking out the Prophet is kind of weird. And yeah, they last pick an Oracle, so...
Speaking of Prophet, you are a prophet, sir. Well done.
It's just so good. Right? Natural disarm against Faces Void. So much value. You've got this Sven. He will just man up and fight. Enables Gabby to really just play to his fullest. What I want from Boom now is something... Go with magic damage to build up. You're still looking for a combo with a Void. Tricky, but Zeus would be okay. Not the best. Could make it. I'm not 100% well, but it's also really susceptible. Like, it's super easy to arrow because it's not fast. Super squishy. Yep. But if you can make it work, gives you that global presence, so the Void will always have some form of backup. Okay.
Okay, Mars comes out. So mid-Mars, I believe, is what we're seeing. Interesting for me. The main problem I'm seeing here for Boom Esports is if you don't catch March on the Oracle, none of your spells are going to matter. Yeah. Right? Like, you're going to commit a Chrono or a Arena of Blood into a Spear onto Gabby, for example, or even Armel. False Promise is just going to make it so you can't kill him. So I think it's going to be extremely important for one of these heroes that can catch that March Oracle. And then even if you do, you've got to be able to burst him down fast enough. It's just worrying me a little bit here for Boom, whether they have enough to keep control of March this game.
Going to be key for them to jump the Oracle in any case, which we've seen March make it really difficult before, right? It's the hang back, his positioning is always on point. Try to force him in on spots. And the last pick, Mars, it's telling me Boom is emphasizing their Phoenix more. So you've got Phoenix Chrono, Egg Chrono, and Egg Arena. Got two ways, but there's no synergy between Arena Chrono. So it really is a focus more on making sure the Egg has an opportunity to go off every time, which can work out. They will have to play around these cooldowns. That's the one thing for Boom compared to TNC. TNC's biggest cooldown is Doom and maybe God Strength from Sven, but even then it's Sven can just farm. Doesn't really care to fight around it as much as a Void does. Gonna be a game of timing, and we'll see if Boom can hit those timings.
Very entertaining game one between these two. And we did just see them in a previous tournament in the grand finals, and it was went all the way to 5 games. Very, very close call for both teams. TNC managing to pull it out in the end. Of course, shout out to KP, by the way. Johnny's still in the running for that Mercedes-Benz MVP.
That's not over yet? Jeez.
No. I believe they're going to announce it pretty soon, but not quite yet.
That is sweet. Would be nice to have that one win, and well, flying it to Australia would be another thing, I guess, but you know, you'd still be happy to have it if you're KP.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't want it, I'll take it. We know KP.
You know,
This is your brother speaking, by the way.
off topic of it, I was reminding March in the lobby, Mike. You know, I told him to watch a certain YouTube video about Filipino food, a Korean eating Filipino food. He told me he would if they win. So I guess in that sense, I might be a bit biased towards. See there?
What is the show? Oh, hold that thought. There's a big smoke here, but they're going to run straight into FBZ,
no.
who's going to get a two-man stun off.
Oh, God.
And on the staircase, they have the high ground advantage. Gabby, he's going to be surrounded, and it looks like he might just be dead, but he's still running. Ooh, more from KezQ.
Ooh.
Bang, there it goes. He gets a very easy kill, and that is one thing you don't want to do.
This guy has no chill.
Run as 5 men into, or rather 4, into Elder Titan with Astral Spirit. He tends to hit a little bit too hard.
And that was just the hardest slaps you could ask for. Just absolutely slapping them down with its stapler. This is... Have you ever seen the movie Office... what's that? Office Space? This is exactly it. If you take a guy's stapler away, he gets mad. It's a fantastic start for Boom.
I've never watched a movie about a stapler being stolen, John. I have standards, John. Thank you for that, though. Is there really a movie based on a stapler being stolen?
Yeah. No, it's not the entire premise, but there's this one guy who gets... He's a really quiet dude, and his stapler got stolen. That was the breaking point. He sets the company on fire afterwards, but well, you know, it shoots up there.
I mean, staplers are good and all. I don't know if it was necessary to put the place on fire. But
it's a great movie.
All right.
Movie.
I'll take your word for it, John. You look down to that bot lane, Dreamer Cell going to be up against KP, and they'll have KezQ and March there. March already copying quite a bit of harass out from our Elder Titan. The top lane, a lot more damage coming out onto Hyde. Stun will not connect onto Gabby, and Gabby will continue the chase. Fire Spirit's making it hard to get that attack speed going. Hyde looks to be completely surrounded, but he is buying a lot of space here. Gabby wants that kill, and will eventually be able to pick it up. A nice pick off there for TNC Predator.
That is in exchange for a lot of creeps, though. Gabby wasn't finding last hits, but a kill's a kill. That's a good amount of gold going his way. Give FBZ an earlier jump into level 2, though. Their center is kind of holding that lane well. Tims is going to have to really dip into that jungle to get his own EXP gain, but they're starting to even it out, and we're seeing the effect of Tims. You know, you get the hammer out, you get the arrow out as well. The damage is substantial, and that's not something you can underestimate. For the side of Boom, you've got to respect that power here.
I get so hungry when we're casting Boom Esports. That damn voice line, that chat wall line always gets me. Every time we cast this team, I just get very, very hungry.
Oh, no.
Very upsetting. Which, have you ever heard of AM Gorong? Goreng?
I am Goreng? Yeah.
Goreng.
I am Goreng, yeah.
I am Goreng.
Yeah,
Apologies for my pronunciation.
Really good.
Looks delicious.
Alright, absolutely. You should try it. Indonesian food's amazing. I love it. I love Ayam Penyet the most. Shout out to the Indonesians. Ayam Penyet is a blast. Really good.
Has been slain.
Lovely courier snipe.
Such an outrage.
BZ losing that bracer recipe. Pronunciations for me are getting much harder as time goes on, John, I gotta tell you.
It's just gonna get worse as you look at more food, Mike. Still, you know, you look at these lanes, the mid lane's not something we talk too much about yet, but you do have Mikato up against Armel. The Doom against Mars mid, which by itself, Doom mid, Mars mid isn't too strange, but Doom against Mars, you know, it's not something you see too often. You do see it is better for Mikato so far in terms of finding that farm, but
Gabby.
Armel's not under too much pressure.
Gabby might be hungry too, John.
It is Merienda time, dude.
It's Merienda time now, for sure.
Wait, I feel like the last time we casted TNC, that was on the Manic Monday?
Look at March. He's got his brothers back there. Sound problems. Yeah, we believe you, March. We believe you.
It's Merienda.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last time we casted TNC around this time as well? For ESL one's mad. Yeah, and they paused, and it was around Merienda time, and they came back and went insane.
Yeah.
Merienda's important, guys.
You gotta fuel the body.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you eat during that time anyway? Is it like pancakes and stuff?
Not quite pancakes, but we do eat sweet stuff. There's some savory stuff as well. So I think the most
Savory?
common ones, like you know, like
Hold on. My pronunciation's been bad too, so I've got to make fun of you now. It's savory, John.
Savory.
Yes.
Savory. Okay, savory. I thought it was. Yeah, it's not. It's technically my first language, but I can say it's not as well. So I have that card. Still, you usually have something like ensaimada. Maybe it's a nice creamy puff with cheese on top. Ooh, absolutely delicious. What's not delicious is these lanes. So again, Armel on the Doom is gonna have to play with that Devour, play in the camps at some point. But that is the Doom, right? He can lose lane, he can still win game because it's a Doom. He's not gonna fall behind.
Just have to press Q, John.
Oh yeah.
Press Devour, click on a creep, enjoy your free gold. It's a great hero right now. In fact, if you want free MMR, I recommend spamming Doom. He's basically unlosable with this hero right now. It's kind of broken. Tim's going to cop a bit of harassment up towards that top lane. He'll be alright, as he could always just leap away if he needs to. We see this a lot from Tim's as well. He does prioritize maxing out the arrow. All that added damage does generally pay off, not bothering for the Starstorm early on. I guess with Mirana, you don't really have the highest mana pool either. So you don't really want to kind of burden yourself with having more spells to have to commit.
Yeah.
Speaking of committing though, Gabby looking to set up for an arrow. Hyde gonna get stunned, arrow to fly in, Hyde will cop it, and Gabby will get gifted a kill and a courier. FBZ not microing that courier out, he will pay for it.
That's the second time that courier dies, right after it respawns. This time around, though, FBZ does get the bracer. Really important for the Centaur to maintain that lane, just punishing a bit more from the right clicks, but that doesn't stop him.
Oh, FBZ, it's a lot of damage out, but Hyde gonna Icarus dive in with the Fire Spirits and will save the day. Hyde will go for the salve and just fine. Gabby, interestingly enough, John, opting to max the Stormhammer as well as the Cleave, and generally speaking, you usually see people go for at least 1 point in Warcry. Tim's.
What?
He just dodged the high ground hit from the Phoenix. He's not just good, this man, he's also lucky, and he will TP out Makoto.
Oh, man.
I mean, how unlucky can you get? He leaps onto the high ground and you miss the auto attack from the Phoenix. And then he gets a Fairy Fire off.
That's all you could ask for. He managed to secure the third bounty rune, so 3 for 1 there for Boom. Not what you'd want to see. And going back to that point with Gabby, I love it. I love this more aggressive build without the emphasis on Warcry. They know that they've got the damage if they land the arrow, so they're going all in that. Now, you compare the progress of Gabby to the progress of Dream Assault. It's not as good here for Faces Void. But it's a harder lane up against a Venomancer, still at level 5, 21 to 4. And Void doesn't flash farm the same way as Sven does, so this might be a bit of an issue going forward. He is TPing out though.
Yeah, he's going to go for that tier 1 tower push very, very early. 6 minutes in, they do have a siege creep. They might try onto Gabby, who does use his Stormhammer with an arrow to fly through, but it flies right between them. Gabby, he might want that Warcry now, John. He's not going to be able to get away here, surely not, and he won't. The bash will come out from Dreamer Cell. They do get a very, very important pick off here for Boom Esports.
Oh yeah, that's the one they're looking for. They make Dream Assault's rotation out early pay off, and it looks like it's going to be a full lane swap perhaps, just giving Dream Assault a better time. He has fallen behind KP now, who has just held that lane. 40 last hits in the Veno, 40 to 8, and looking to shove it in. Like, there's no answer yet for Boom on that end. Gonna have to be careful, because if you let Veno have a free run, it can melt your towers.
Why are you cursing KP, John?
Oh.
You know what happens when we talk about someone doing well? How dare you? You didn't deserve that. Gabby, he'll show up down to the bot lane on the Sven. He's going to be in a bit of danger. Makoto has the arena with the Sunray out from Hyde, and the spear will connect. And Makoto has a double damage on top of that. So, Gabby, showing himself a bit early on without KP to back him up, is going to pay for it. And Armel and Tims, they were rushing down to try and help, but they get nothing.
Not quite the start you want. Those are two big heroes falling back to back. Massive wins for Boom, as that also buys a lot of space out for Dream Assault. He's just laning against March. That's not anything to be worried about.
Oh,
Void
great
gets the bounce
spear.
in.
Great spear out from Makoto. Tim's leaps again and leaps again, but Hyde has an Icarus dive, a much bigger leap, and here comes Kescu. Slaps him right to the graveyard. That'll be a 5-2 already for Boom. Still TNC holding a 1k net worth advantage regardless of the kills out for this Radiant side. Let's say Boom are still looking very, very good in this.
Absolutely are. TNC having that lead, I think that's a lot of it down to just having the Doom. It's the Doom effect. The guy is just always going to farm up. You can look, Armel is #1 in net worth by a pretty good amount, 200 gold above Mikoto. So it has been a better time for him. But that's not translating to the rest of the heroes. They are still lagging behind in their farm for everyone else, but they're sort of tied even. It's much better progress, especially looking at Gabby. The lanes are all dead, so he goes into the jungle, and that's where the Sven shines. He farms so much faster in the jungle compared to Faces Void. Dreamer Cell needs that Mask of Madness to keep up.
Great. Gabby trying to go towards his own Mask of Madness. He's gonna have it up relatively soon.
There is little it can do.
In fact, Dreamer Soul's gonna have it faster than Gabby will, it seems. Does have a lower net worth though than our Sven. Gabby opting to finish off the treads into the wand and even gets a nice faded brooch there for himself. Nice to have that that added movement speed, and look at that. Oh, the dream. Gabby is absolutely loving himself right now. So, I'll tell you what, John, none of my supports have ever done this for me. I'll give you that. So, March, all props to him. Doing a fantastic job getting those stacks off. In fact, it might have been KP doing it.
Oh yeah, it's just a lot of gold injection here for Sven. You can see him already pulling ahead because of that, catching up to Mikado. So a good spot for the Sven to be in. I would say he would probably want to level in Warcry now. He's really just juggling those attack walks. Himself alive.
Boom. This is great game sense from Boom. They know. All the big creeps are still there as well. Gabby needs to take him ASAP. They get the arena out though, and they've caught out Armel on that Doom, and they burst him down. Gabby, still farming that ancient stack, is actually going to be able to get most of them, but the team fight might continue as KP round, but no. We'll throw out another Venom Ward, and that'll be enough.
Oh, Dreamer Cell.
But
First chrono. Doesn't find March yet.
False promise, March? Oh,
No.
March.
No.
What a player. What a player. March will walk himself out. That's your first chrono of the game. Going down for nothing.
Ooh, boy, and we talked about that Oracle being an issue. I didn't think it would be an issue if you chrono the Oracle, but apparently it is this early on. March wasting a nice big spell. And overall, TNC, despite being behind in kills, 6-2, they are still holding onto the net worth, and they're pretty happy about that. They're confident. Armel is still just farming up. Gabby's just still farming up. We're going to have a blink up on Armel really soon, and it's at that point where you can jump in on the Doom, get the Doom off, and really start to dictate these fights for TNC.
Tier 1 towers are starting to be pushed by both sides. Makoto, he'll take care of the top. Dreamer Cell will also be there, but the rest of TNC going for a fight. Hyde just going to be able to sunray off the map.
Oh, man.
I gotta ask, who at Valve thought that was a good idea, John?
No, I mean, it's balanced apparently. It's a really good balancing piece. Still, they do take the tower, TNC, despite that setback of not finding the kill. But boom, they're about to hit some timings of their own as well. Got the egg up on Hyde. They just need a chrono to be up. They've got arena. They can force a team fight anytime they want. TNC has to be a bit cautious about that because the team fight is really explosive from Boom.
They might even just wait for the next chrono just to have that added level, just in case you're almost through to the egg or something and the arena didn't work out. At least you have a secondary option. Still, blinks are coming for Makoto now, so looks like they might go for that smoke, and they will. Kescute and Makoto smoking up. KP, the closest option for them to go after. It's not really the one they would prefer to go after. Of course, they want a bigger target than that. Only problem being TNC is also smoked up right behind KP, and they're using him as bait at the moment. KP gonna show himself back. Makoto, he does go for it, but Armel gets a Doom off onto FBZ, but he got the Stampede off in time. Now Gabby, gone strength up, going after Kescute. There's your egg being thrown out. Kescute, he is not going to be able to run out the cleave. Was enough, but the egg is also going to go down just barely. TNC making it work, and now after Makoto, Spear is going to be out onto Gabby, but it will probably not matter as the chase continues, and he has a Stormhammer available, but he seems to want FBZ instead on that Centaur with the Fortress End to fly out, and now the poison's over, but a great Chrono, Dreamer Cell, he's going to try and fight back, but does he have the damage output? He does for Gabby. Makoto the one to finish off the kill with the Spear. And they are coming in for more. Kescute, a great setup now onto KB. There's an Icarus dive in though. Dreamer Cell getting stunned up by Tims. A great arrow out from this Mirana, and now Hyde wishing he did not TP into that mid lane. Mel just saying it how it is.
Oh boy. The biggest issue there for Boom was that they held back for a long time. He was just farming that top triangle. They lose out in a major fight without the follow-up of the Chrono. And TNC now, they've got 2k lead in their end, although they're trying for more.
Miss Spear from Makoto. TNC happy to continue fighting. They really want to push in that tier 1 mid tower. At the very least, they do force all of Boom Esports to TP mid and defend. And it seems to be what TNC wants to do, because they know they can reliably just allow Gabby to keep farming on this Fen, understanding how much faster he can farm compared to Dreamer still on the Void.
Oh yeah, they're just like super confident right now. They've got a lot more room here to grow. And Boom, I mean, Mikado needs to pay off sometime soon. Like, you can't afford to keep missing your initiations. They need to find more openings. I think the issue now is that TNC reads their movement so well. Like, that smoke on smoke just costed them way earlier on. And they need to keep popping those smokes out. I think that's one thing we haven't seen as much from Boom. They keep sitting on these spells. They can't. They have to use their spell every time they're up.
Chrono is going to be on another 50-second cooldown here. We just don't see the damage output from Dreamer Cell yet either. Once he has that MKB up, it should be a completely different story, but he'll probably need to wait for that. Unless you're going for an easier target on TNC. Speaking of top lane, they do get Tims, but can he leap? No. Makoto is able to get the kill in time. And I think that's the kind of targets they need to aim for right now. Aim for those squishy supports, make it harder for TNC to feel so comfortable all across this map.
Definitely. It's one way for them to build that snowball up. I love the itemization here from TNC in this downtime, though. Gabby, he's got that Heaven's Halberd up. So, not only do you have the disarm on the Oracle, you've got the disarm on the Sven to worry about. He's got even more durability from the evasion on top of that, as well on the strength. It's a lot now for Boom to have to rip through. And it's only set to get worse as the BKB start flying out from TNC as well. So these timings that are coming out here are not helping Boom's cause of taking it slow.
Just constantly gotta just defend this mid lane is one of the big things about the Venomancer. You can just keep spamming Plague Wards in that mid lane. It'll never push into your tier 1 tower, and it'll always apply more pressure into that mid tier 1. But Boom, they have Chrono, they have Arena, they have Egg, they want to go for a big fight, and they see Gabby down at that bot lane. Gabby, he needs to leave right now, but he has no idea they're coming. And it's too late. The Arena is going to be out with the Spear. TP's coming in from TNC, but can they make it in time? Gabby, he's tanky. Is he tanky enough? Sun, no, it's not going to be enough. Still, they get the Doom off onto the Void now. They might get a trade, but that Egg is going to be a real big problem for TNC as it does explode right in their faces. Armel trying to run. There's your false promise out from March, but March will be left behind here and ultimately should just be dead as they will dive underneath that T1 to kill.
It's a big win for Boom, finally finding the kills they want. They also expended the Doom out from TNC. That's a big piece of control gone now from TNC, and that does allow them to push a bit more. Still, the group up for the defense is there.
Arrow, Poison Nova, Gale committed, Armel jump in, 2-man stun is out on the Doom. They do kill off Kescute. FBZ trying to run. It's a lot of damage over time here onto FBZ, but they want to try for Makoto as well. Spear not going to latch on. Makoto tried for the TP, doesn't get it, and now FBZ also going to go down to Tim's. A great turnaround from TNC now.
Boom has to respect that power of TNC. They jump in, they've got the Nova, they just melt you. They did have a pipe up and running already on their Centaur, but no, it's difficult when they manage to commit that hard. Do manage to. A lovely thing out from Armel in that Blinken as well. They didn't even have Doom. They expended it in the last fight. They still make it work. So whatever gains Boom got are washed away. 5k lead for TNC. They're starting to invade the jungle area and they keep smoking up. They keep playing aggressive.
Attack. It shall encroach no more.
Oh, FBZ will be a much better target, and he might go in to farm that mid lane. He did just see the Purifying Flames out from March, though, which may have given that smoke away. Oh, maybe it hasn't. Dreamer Cell. Huge pickoff. He does have the Chrono, but he might have to commit just to run. They don't have the Doom at the moment, so he has time to. But they get the stun off with the Gale. Now the follow-up arrow. Never mind. He does not have the time to. He will just go down. Gabby.
It's just the chaining.
Mid lane, a big surround here. Kodo does have the arena blink, but may not feel confident while March is behind him. In fact, Gabby wants to rush forward now. Arrow not going to connect. Hide. Stormhammer eventually gets off. He does not have Icarus Dive. He will try to Sunray across, but will not work out, and that'll give TNC a 6k net worth lead.
Oh man.
Do have another pause.
It's difficult right now. Like Boom, we talked about it from draft, but their entire lineup is built around his team. Have not pumped out enough of them. They've smoked what, twice now? We've seen smoke more in that downtime. They need the aggressors here. Needs to find these pickoffs, and the most success we've seen from them is when they do start those fights. Keep getting that done. Constantly keep the aggression up with these spells. And it's really painful to see when the Void has Chrono up and he dies. When you've got the Arena, when you've got the Egg, and you have no way to use them. That means your lineup is just not forcing its capabilities onto the enemy. Not maximizing what you drafted for.
Tough. By the way, John, I just FYI, I got an email from Valve just a minute ago.
Oh.
Apparently, my Dota Plus subscription has been renewed.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very good to hear. I've had so much content. I don't know how to get through it all with Dota Plus. You know, it's just so many cosmetics to buy, so much new content every week. I love Dota Plus.
It's
fantastic.
Such a worthwhile piece, man. You know, thinking about it, it's so generous that we've gotten a week extension on the Battle Pass as well. I mean, it's not like we don't have Treasure Tree yet. It's not like the pass was about to end with no Treasure Tree. Nah, absolutely no issues there. As we go back in the game as well, no issues on that internet front as well.
No, absolutely not. Speaking of Dota Plus, John, apparently it was giving Boom Esports a positive win rate before the game even started. Not so much anymore. It's currently sitting at 58% for TNC.
Top tower is under attack.
It's a deep dive, and it's set to dive even more, as long as they don't play around their strengths. They are surrounded in an awkward spot as well.
Top tower falling
M's great Moonlight Shadow, just look at this, keeping eyes, gets the arrow off onto Makoto, and Armel going to go for a very easy Doom. A great stomp out from Kezcute, but that is probably not going to save your Doom. In fact, it's not even going to save Kezcute. There'll be two going down for Boom Esports, and TNC, they just don't stop. They'll keep running at this Radiant side.
Yeah, and I love watching this. Like they're not content to sit back and farm. They know that they're not held down by cooldowns besides Doom. They're free to keep fighting like this. They're free to keep running at you. And Boom, man, every time they get caught out as two, caught out as one, it's costly because then you can't throw out your team fights. And I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but if you don't team fight when you've got a Void, a Phoenix, and a Mars, then and an Elder Titan, then what is that lineup for?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Very good question. Hopefully soon we'll find out. I believe they are still just waiting on Dreamer Cell to finish off that MKB, and I'm sure it is a lot later than he would have liked to have it this game. We are already 21 minutes into this game now, and He's almost there. Just needs about maybe 1k gold more to have it up and running. That may be the game changer, because realistically right now, we saw it many times, but Dreamercell just does not have the damage output to kill anyone within Chrono. He needs some help. The MKB should be just enough. But Boom Esports, they're going to go for another quick smoke here. I don't know if this is the time to do it. March will get jumped. He does have the false promise, but the spear is going to be out with the Sunray. He will not get it off in time. Or rather, he will just hold it and accept his death. And with that, Boom, they're going to try for that mid-tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they've got to make some progress here on the objective. Should be a quick tower to take. TNC right now kind of scattered out for the defense. Just fall. Gives more access for Boom into the jungle to stop the farming that we've seen coming out from TNC. Need to put a lid in it. Look at Gabby. He's up there, number 2 in net worth. Armel, of course, keeping the lead up on the Doom. They're both going to have BKBs up and running. Just his up. Armel has about 1,000 to go until he can completely buy his out. Then you've got BKBs on his Sven, BKB on Doom. How do you stop them at that point? Got to land a Chrono. But if you're not using a Chrono, then is that really a factor? Just letting Gabby farm into the Ags, and you mentioned how balanced the Sven is once he has that Ags up.
Completely balanced. Still, the MKB is now on the way, and you've also got a Desolator now up on Makoto. So I believe after that, these items are there for their cause. We might see another smoke very, very soon, and there we are. Speaking of items, however, Tim's gets a Guardian Greaves up now on the Mirana, and Armel has a BKB on the way. And they go for a smoke. They're not going to wait. They want to reveal that 10-second charge straight off the bat, and they're going to find a very, very nice pick-off here on Makoto. If they do run north, and that is exactly what they're doing. Moonlight Shadow out. Knows something's wrong. Makoto does get a very nice TP off, and it's going to be Kezcute who tries to TP away, but Tims is going to be there. Make sure he gets stunned up, and that'll be Kezcute gone. The rest of TNC still having a look for Makoto, but he is well and truly out of there. I think Boom will still be pretty satisfied with that, knowing...
Got Doom.
Uh-oh. Mel just going to chase him down. I was going to say they were going to be happy with that, but there goes your Dreamercell, and there goes your Phoenix Hide. He does get the egg off in time. FBZ with a great stun out. They don't have time to take the egg down. Armel, he can't reach it. Oh, he couldn't reach it in time. The arena walls. They just hold him back. No. It won't matter, though. They're still on the run. Arrow, not going to land. TNC still looking for this chase. KP does have a Gale, and Hyde may have to cop it. The Sunray TP play, is he actually going to get away with this? No. They have the clumsy net on Tims. Unfortunately for Boom Esports, another 2 heroes to die here.
Yeah, it's not what you're looking for, Boom. It took a lot of commitment to take that tier 2. I love the rotations out from TNC. They're still smoked up. They're still hunting.
Why not? Another great stun out, but a great spear from Makoto. And here comes Dreamer, so he could go for a big Chrono here. He needs to do it ASAP as they're losing heroes. Kezcute does go. Earthspitter was committed, but it's only going to do a bit of damage to Gabby. Makoto trying to go after Tims. No, they want March, but March is also just running away. He doesn't have false promise, but he's going to make it out. Armel with a great stun. And they look to turn once again. Armel not afraid of anyone right now, but Dreamercell looking for this Oracle. March does heal up. They should know the false promise is already used up as well, but they're not committing that Chrono. Another stun. FBZ now caught out of the Centaur, and Armel. Oh, the pump fakes, and another quick pause out. 300 ping for Armel apparently.
It's not showing. It does have 300 ping. I don't see it, Mike.
It's just merry end of time, John. You know how it is.
And man, TNC performance is looking stunning. Boom. They're staggering their spells out. Not what I want to see here. It's either you go with a Chrono Egg or you go with the Arena Egg. And again, every time we've seen Boom win was when they got one of the combinations. That's it. They have 2 spells to combine with the Egg. TNC, they're not afraid. They know Boom's not pulling the trigger. They know Boom's playing a lot more defensively. That's not what you want from that lineup. They're in the Roshan now. Gabby's getting started. He's got that God Strength up, so he's just going in, and first Rosh of the game looks set for TNC. There's an opportunity for Boom to jump in, but doesn't look like they're keen or aware it's happening.
Not have a chance. Real shame as well, because had they been aware, they have the chrono. And look at TNC. TP straight into that tier 2 mid tower. They had vision on the Void, and now the Warcry. They want to make this chase happen. Moonlight Shadow, Yule's out. Armel with that Scorched Earth. Hyde, already Icarus dive down to there, trying for the TP, but it's going to get cancelled. We'll go down. Esports, they just continue to run away. You start to wonder now. I mean, you've been talking about it for the last 10 minutes, but when are they going to fight?
If it's not soon, then the next opportunity is going to have to be high ground. So that means they're going to have to give out these tier 2s if they're not going to look to fight outside their base. Their high ground game is pretty good to be cornered up against the wall like that, so you have to fight outside. But when you lose your Phoenix like this, Void alone isn't the combination you're looking for. So that's going to be a free tower for TNC. They'll hold on to the Aegis as well, and they might look to actually eye the high ground a bit earlier here from the Dire side.
I wouldn't blame him. With an Aegis and God Strength off cooldown in 1 second. I mean, Gabby could wait for the Aghanim Scepter, which is just about 1k off, maybe 1.2. But it looks like they're preparing for a high ground attempt.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
If they are trying for it, they would know all ultis are available for Boom. And they are not. They're going to back off down towards that bot lane. There are still 2 tier 2 towers standing here. So,
top tower is under attack.
Cautious. Yule's out onto Kezcute with the Gale follow-up from KB. Stomp to fly out, but won't connect on anyone. Armel looking to go in. Oh, the chrono! Armel! He pump faked the chrono! Armel's still very low, however, but he's going to run away with the false promise, and KP does kill off Kezcute. Armel with the reactions on the blink. He was pump faking the stun, John. And Dreamer, so he'd had enough. He just time walks in to try and go for a chrono, but Armel ready with the blink.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Oh man, TNC, they're just sidestepping everything Boom has. Take the tower, they know Chrono's down, no Arena's down, Egg is up, but Egg alone, and that's not it. You need the other two people. Cook that recipe up, and just straight into the high ground. There's nothing to stop Gabby at this point.
Haven't got Arena. All they have is Egg right now. That's literally all they can use here. Try and defend. Gabby. Stormhammer. Eventually land, but that Phoenix is out of range. Still back onto that tier 3 tower, but the stuns are coming out from FBZ. Gabby pops the BKB, and this Centaur is not very tanky at all. Not up against his Sven, who is currently hitting for about 600 damage per auto attack with God Strength. That'll be it for the bot racks. TNC, do you want to try for another? They still have the Aegis. They also have that Axe on the way. Shiva's Guard now on Armel to boot. There's your Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop it. They could just keep going.
Armel, another great stun onto Kezcute. Kezcute getting the lead, and Makoto trying to turn around. He has the Arena back up. He misses the spear onto Gabby. They are very well aware he still has the Aegis, and there is no point diving in while he still has that up. But the problem is you're going to lose your towers at this rate if you can't do anything.
These fights just drag for so long that Gabby is going to have a second God Strength up relatively leveled out.
They're going to go for that Aegis, but the Fate's Edict going to protect it. Egg to be committed, but it's going to do really nothing. Gabby might get stunned here and does. Still has that secondary life. Armel now jumping in for a 2-man stun of his own, and there's that Stormhammer coming back in. They're going to try and fight. Gabby's still alive, willing to fight here up against FBZ and Hyde, and get the Centaur back into Dreamer. Gets almost Hyde on the Phoenix. They still have the Aegis. He might even dive the Fountain. They'll finally take him out, but I think Gabby wants to die, John. He gets a reset. He has the God Strength up. He'll pop it back into the fountain now. Pops the BKB, just mans up with the false promise. There's a chrono there, but there's no follow-up to it. Gabby, he has copped so many hits from this fountain, but he still goes back in after Dreamer Cell. Oh,
God, that's not how you do it.
Absolute balls of steel on Gabby right now as Makoto jumping in with the arena again, and FBZ with a 3-man stun off, but doesn't matter. Tim's, he'll just leap straight into this team fight. He doesn't care, but Armel will go down on the Doom. They can really punish now. They're trying to go after Makoto. TNC, can they at least get him? It doesn't look like it. Tim's will go down, and now KP, the only man left, is currently asleep. Does cancel Hyde's TP, gets the Gale. Hyde should be okay unless he Icarus dives like that. Does use himself off, purges the poison. KP going back for him, however.
Oh my
And he's
God.
forced to egg. Oh, come on now, KP. He'll just run away. Look at the space creation from KP. Gets another, he does not get away from this. He does get speared up. KP in the tree line now will poison Nova. He's still alive, John.
What?
He can put a Venom Ward to block them off as well, but he will run back into them.
What?
How much time did he buy?
Oh no, way too much.
Gabby's about to respawn.
Yeah, but it's like they never died at all. KP just making it work. Boom, even after that fantastic punishment. Just doesn't work out. Like, even that spear, Mike, like, that's supposed to be on the low ground. He phased up onto the back. Like, how is that fair? How is any of this fair?
With all due respect, John, they have a hero that can cast Sunray and fly off the map, so I'm not sure if they have any right to complain right now, Boom Esports.
Oh, no.
No. March. It's an Invis rune now. Maybe wanting to replicate what KP just did, but walk the other way. Dota Plus win probability actually almost at 100% just a few minutes ago, but they dove a little bit far and upped it back to 4% here for Boom Esports. So March getting... Oh my goodness. That's a quick blink out from March. My God.
Oh. Oh boy, and look at this. Look at the TNC. They've smoked up. They know where Boom just grouped up to hunt. So it's their turn to hunt now.
Why not? Light Shadow. BZ. Be careful, just keep running south, FBZ. Do not go to the... Don't go that way. It is dangerous, sir. And Armel does get the stun off, but the Stormhammer to follow on to Dreamer Cell. He has the chrono. He needs to use it right now, but the stuns, they last too long. He could not get it off in time, and he's gone without buyback. Meanwhile, FBZ also set to go down, and does. Hyde being left behind. They call the GG. They have had enough, Boom Esports. Dropping game number 1 to TNC Predator. And I'll tell you what, John, TNC, they are looking very, very good today.
Boom just styled. Boom got styled on by TNC. TNC just